His numbers are pretty respectable, Katie, if you have those LaVine numbers this season so far. Just over 22 points a game on 50.6% from the floor. A career best 43.2% from downtown. 80% from the free throw line. True shooting percentage of 63.6, also a career high. And 4.5 boards, 4.2 assists. That kind of same number of efficient, like also chipping in on the boards, also chipping in with dimes, way that we have come to expect from Zach LaVine in his Bulls career.
Yeah.
And quick note, that 50.6% is 1/100th of a point away from being a career high also. It was one of his 2 first All-Star seasons when he finished with 50.7.
That's correct.
So these are respectable numbers, Dave. Are they All-Star numbers?
For myself, yeah, I think there's a case, yes. Zach LaVine, and if you go back and look at his previous All-Star numbers and just compare them to, what he did now, obviously what jumps out at you is the points per game because Zach is known as that scorer. So the points per game are lower this season, but he's also taking, less field goal attempts. He's also playing, less minutes than those 2 years, when he had those 2 All-Star games. So, but to do what he's doing, but do it at the same kind of efficiency, for me, is spectacular and really amazing to watch. The 3-point percentage, it's better than both of those All-Star seasons. You mentioned the field goal percentage, Matt, just being a 10th off of what he averaged in his first year for an All-Star season. His 2-point attempts percentage is better than it was in that All-Star season.
Also a career high on 2s right now.
Correct. Yes, sir. And that's the one for me right there, is that means he's getting to rim and he is finishing, because we've seen Zach struggle with that sometimes. Not this year. It's been smooth. Every game he's been in there, he's been smooth. And if you're watching him, the reason the points per game are lower is because he's getting more involved in doing other things to help this team win. So when he has an almost triple-double, he almost had his first triple-double this season, and it was going to be 11 points that he would have gotten. It wasn't going to be 30-point, triple-double, nothing like that. Why? Because he was trying to help his team win. Watch that game and watch Zach pumping his fist and how excited he was to participate and watching his fellow teammates actually get some shine along with him. So I love with the efficiency that he's playing with and the way he's able to affect the game in multiple ways, because those first 2 All-Star seasons, you can definitely just say he was just killing them on the scoring. It was out of control what he was doing, scoring the goal in those first 2 All-Star seasons. Here, it's still really good, but he's playing smarter, in my opinion, in this season. And he can average more points. Sure, he knows it. He can get more points, but he's showcasing that I have other styles to my game that I can help affect a team, not just the Chicago Bulls, a wink, wink, but a team be a better basketball squad, man. And just going down the numbers and looking at it as opposed to what he did in his first 2 All-Star seasons definitely reflects that. I love the rebounds. I love the assists. He's always going to have the 4 and 4 and stuff like that. But look at the games where he has 10 rebounds, the games where he has the 9 or 8 assists. It used to be few and far between. You would see that. We're seeing that more often with 22 games that he's played within the 25 that we've seen total. So it's been completely impressive. I haven't been like, oh, Zach, why did you do that? Not as much as I've done over his years, even All-Star season. I'm like, oh, Zach, you're forcing it. I think you've only used the word forcing it one time, Matt, when talking about Zach LaVine this season, and even I debated it. You know what I mean? So that just lets you know how really good he has been when it's just aces across the board for Zach and what he's done for the Chicago Bulls. I think he has a really, really strong case to be on this All-Star team.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, there's 2 things here, though. It's like, is he playing well enough to be an All-Star? 1,000%. But will he actually be an All-Star? Obviously remains to be seen.
Sure.
Not saying he can't be, but there's just so many talented players and not a lot of spots. So I think that's like the first thing you have to ask yourself is like, obviously, yes, he is playing at that level, but what else is going on around the league? So we'll just have to see about this one. But in terms of what he is actually doing out there, 1,000%. I mean, you look at volume scoring in the NBA and doing it efficiently, players who are averaging 22 points on 63 true shooting or better, which is what Zach is doing. It's Giannis, KD, Zach, Jokic, Kat, and as we talked about yesterday, Norman Powell and Tyler Hero. So
and those guys, MVP candidates, and then a couple of randos.
Yeah,
but those guys are obviously like playing the best basketball of their career.
Right,
they're doing it super efficiently. And like in Norman Powell's case, I mean, he's averaging 49 3-point percentage.
Yeah,
so like that's going to come down.
on.
Zach is like doing this within what he has done historically, obviously like on the higher end of it. But then you factor in the assist part and you knock off Norman Powell and Tyler Hero, and it's literally like Jokic, Kat, KD, Giannis, and Zach. So
all all-stars.
Yeah, I mean he's scoring at an incredible level right now in terms of volume and efficiency, and like that's what the game is about. It's about who is the best at scoring the ball and who can do it the most efficiently. Zach's playing at an unbelievable level, and I think to your point, Dave, which is what makes it even more impressive, is that his usage is actually way down compared to what it has been at other points in his career. His All-Star year in 2020-21, he was over 31 in usage, 31.2. The last few years he's been down, but right now 25.9 usage. So to be able to put up those kind of numbers at that efficiency while doing it within the flow of the offense without kind of hijacking it as we maybe would have criticized him for doing in the past. And then on top of it, you look at the team record and obviously how that factors in. Well, the Bulls are 7.6 points per 100 possessions better with Zach on the court compared to when he sits. So we talked about this before the year. What are the things we want to see from him? Get back to scoring and doing it efficiently, buy into the system, and impact winning. He's doing all three of those things. Yes, there's going to be a lot of other good players out there who make a case and who like make that push to be an all-star. And I'm sure there's, some nitpicking that you could do with Zach's case right now, but like as far as high volume, high efficiency scorers, very, very few players in the NBA are doing it the way Zach is doing it.
We all silly like the mayor.